at least my soul isn't trapped in this blanket now. That might be where I do mix it up a little bit. That's the bit that I've been wanting to do. No, I'm mad. That's going to take so long. This is the state of things. I think it's ugly. So here's the crack. Hi, welcome to my channel, or if you're new here, welcome back to the cozy chaos that is my channel. The video that you are watching is a part 2, so this is going to be showing weeks 4 to 6 of me completing the SIRDAR crochet along summer blanket. If you haven't seen part 1, pause here. I'll leave the link in the description so you can go and watch part 1 and then come back and enjoy part 2. I'm not going to hold you here any longer if you've already seen part 1. Let's just get straight into week 4. Okay, you are very precariously perched on the dashboard. I'm in the car and the next bit of the pattern's just released, so we're going to see what we're making this week. Before I open it, my idea is this week we're going to be doing like the cherry panel and the last of the fruits, and then next week it'll be the gingham because we'll have all of the fruits to stick to the gingham squares. So, geez, that's what I'm thinking, okay? Yeah, okay, so we're doing the cherry panel and the strawberries, and it looks like, I'm just skimming it, it looks like we're just doing one panel this week, which is going to be a bit of a reprieve because we did 2 panels last week. So it looks like that's the crack. Oh, so we're actually crocheting right onto our raspberry panel from last week, so that's exciting too. Yeah, it looks like just one panel and then the strawberries, so then next week is going to be the gingham squares, that's the bit that I've been wanting to do, so that's exciting. So that's what we're doing. Oh, and the strawberries look really cute as well. If you see how cute the strawberries look. Oh my god. Okay, cute. Okay, so I'm working on week 4, and this is the first time I've actually counted my stitches. What has happened to my voice? This is the first time I've actually counted my stitches in a while, okay? And I'm down 3. I only have 167. I'm supposed to have 170, and I cannot see where I might have dropped one. Can't see anywhere. All I can think is it's maybe in the mess of these. I might have dropped one. I literally can't see anywhere where I might have dropped a stitch. I'm gonna count again. And if I get 167 again, I've got 167 twice. So if I get it again, this is the state of things. If I get 167 again, then I'm just going to fudge it. I'm sorry, don't care. I can't see where I've dropped a stitch. If I could and it wasn't too far, I might go back to fix it. But if I can't work it out, I'm just going to fudge it. I'm just going to do some increases because I'm a what undoing all of this. I've not even got onto the fun bit. I'm still just doing the white bit. 3 stitches though as well. Like that's got to have been like a over multiple rows kind of thing that's happened, because how do you just drop 3 stitches? What do you mean? Unless I didn't even start with the right number of stitches. I have the right number of raspberry, I don't know. I'm going to count again. Okay, so I've definitely dropped 3 stitches, and from what I can work out, when I've done the eyelet row, this bloody eyelet row, again, flashback to week 1, this is where I'm mad. At the end, there's 2 double crochets next to each other. I didn't like that, okay? And I was convinced when I was doing it that I was doing it wrong. I've not got 2 on one end and 1 on the other. I've got 1 on each end. So I'm guessing that the row before that had 1 less stitch, and then from there I've just lost 3 stitches. But I'm not going to worry about it because there's that old proverb, isn't there? If there's a mistake in your work, then it means that your soul isn't trapped in it. So whenever I make a mistake, I always go, well, at least my soul isn't trapped in this blanket now. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to actually use the turning chain as a double crochet. On this row, I'm gonna stitch into it, so I'll have 168 on this row, and on the next row, I'll just increase at some point in it twice, and then I'll be back up to 170 because I'm gonna need 170 for doing the cherries. So I don't know how it's happened, I don't know where it's happened, but I'm gonna fix it. Okay, it is Tuesday and week 4 is well underway. This is where I am. I've got my cherries. I'm just about to do the stems. Can we talk about this? So when you're working your cherries, you're doing like chains between them, but it's like a floating row, I guess is what you would call it, and then you pop the cherries through to the other side. So These at the minute pop back out, so it's like a floating row behind your actual blanket. I've seen some people doing it differently and like crocheting over this, but when I tried to crochet over the chain, it was showing up really badly through the front, and to be honest, I don't think I'm going to catch it that much on things. I think that was people's worry, was that it might catch, but I don't know if that's a big enough issue for me to want to like crochet over it and have it showing through from the front. I'm going to be positive about something, because I feel like I've not really done that much in this whole journey. Some people are complaining about how it's done and saying that it should have been done the same way as we did the strawberries and raspberries. I like it. I like that she's giving us a different way of doing it. Yes, it's a very similar effect to what we were getting with the strawberries and raspberries, but actually I really like it. I like that we're learning a new way of doing it. It's like a new skill. It's like just a new way to crochet, and I'm enjoying it so far. I did decide to do my cherries in the tomato colour instead of the Cupid colour. I had a bit of a look at the finished picture of the blanket and noticed that we're not going to use this colour again for like the gingham, and I'm not gonna lie, this isn't the kind of colour I would use outside of doing this blanket, so I thought I might as well use it, because the Cupid colour, I would probably use that for something like maybe granny square blanket or like, you know, a project. I would use this colour over this colour, so I thought I might as well use some of this one up. So I have gone ahead and done red cherries instead of pink. I think it's cute, especially because it's next to the raspberries. It's a bit more contrast between the raspberries and the cherries. So that's where I am. I'm going to go ahead and do the stems next, and then I need to do some strawberries. I'm going to do some strawberry appliques. The only thing that's left to do now is the gingham squares, which is what I've been most excited to do, because it looks like a bit of tapestry crochet. That's a bit of me. So yeah, I'm excited to get onto week 5. And do you know what? Week 4 has been a nice like slowing of pace. I feel like week 3 was so like quick, do it, because there was so much to do, but we've halved what we were doing, and it's been a lot more enjoyable. I'm not gonna lie, at the beginning of the week I was feeling very like, do I even want to keep doing this? Do I even want to finish it? Am I that bothered? Like, because I had done so much for week 3. But I'm glad that I like carried on. I did have a break. I crocheted something else for a little bit and then came back to it, and I feel a lot more refreshed, and I feel more optimistic about it again. I feel like I'm enjoying it again. I think I maybe wasn't really enjoying it during week 3, if you couldn't tell from the video. So yeah, that's where we are. That's the progress on week 4 so far. I'm just going to keep going. Okay, week 5. The only thing that's left to do now is the gingham. So, oh, I'm in my new craft room. This is my first time filming in here. It's so cute. There is a whole video coming on the resurrection of this room. That video is coming soon, so if you want to see me do all this, and I literally organised so much yarn. It's not even funny how much yarn I had to go through, but I filmed the whole thing, so if you want to see that, then subscribe so that you don't miss it. I'm trying to download the pattern while I'm talking to you. Okay, week 5, gingham. Let's see how we're doing it. I don't really know what I'm looking for this week. I'm like, yeah, okay, we're doing the gingham. Like, I know what to expect. This is the first week that I've like known what to expect, basically. Oh, there's only 3 different colours of it. How did I miss that? So we're doing 4 blue, 4 green, 4 pink. I guess I didn't realise that there was only 3 colours of gingham squares. I think I was expecting there to be like an orange and yellow one as well, which I suppose you could do, but how are you doing that? I suppose do 3 of each colour, and you could do an orange and yellow one as well. That would be cute. I'm looking at the picture of it now, like the finished blanket, and it is a very pink centric blanket, and I'm wondering if I did an orange and yellow one, if it might break it up a bit. I don't know what a lemon and an orange would look like though on a yellow and an orange gingham square. I might, hear me out, I might just make one orange and yellow just to see what it looks like, and then I can hold my lemon and my orange against it and see if it's something that I want to maybe do. I can understand maybe she didn't want to have the orange set, like the orange slices on an orange square and the lemons on a yellow square. I can understand that, but I might give that a go actually. And like, so far I've really stuck to the pattern. The only thing I've changed is I did my cherries in the tomato colour instead of the Cupid colour. That might be where I do mix it up a little bit. What do we think? Should I? Okay, so yeah, so we're doing the gingham squares. I have a feeling that this is going to take a little bit longer than I initially thought it was going to, because it's obviously working with 3 colours. it's a little bit more difficult than if you're just working with two. So like, for example, doing these stripes here is just 2 colours, you only swap them between 2. When you're doing tapestry crochet with 3 colours, I wish there was a goddamn picture. I just want them to put a picture of what we're making on the pattern. That would have made everything so much easier. Like, include pictures in your patterns. The fact that this week there isn't even a picture of a square. There's the initial image of the blanket on the first page, and then you get this picture. And then let me show you, that is, where am I? That's it. There's no more pictures of what we're making. And that's just been a frustration. Even if there was just a picture of this week, this is what we're making, that would be so helpful. And there's just not. And I just think that they could do a little bit better with that. And yes, the videos are helpful. They helped when I was doing my cherries because I could not for the life of me work out the written pattern for doing the stems. So it was helpful to have the video and have someone show me. But equally, I think if there were images in here, not even like a step by step, but just showing where the stitch goes, or this is what a leaf should look like, that would have been a lot more helpful than having no images at all. Having a picture of this is what your square should look like at the end would be really helpful. That's how I'm feeling about that. But this is the week that I have been waiting for. I'm so excited to do this. I'm sorry I went on such a rant, oh my god. But yeah, I'm really excited to do this week. This is the week that I've been excited for. This is the part of the blanket that made me want to do this blanket crochet along in the first place, was these gingham squares. I'm optimistic. I'm gonna try it in orange just to see what it looks like. Just to see what it looks like, okay? Just to see what it looks like. Yeah, so let's just crack on. Let's just do it. Okay, so I've started doing the gingham squares and I've seen other people's versions and I'm just not keen on the shade of blue that they're using. They've got like the, well, it's this, and then the like teal colour one. So I've come to my stash because I'm hoping that I might have a blue that I could substitute in. I'm just not keen on the shades that they're using. I just organised this entire room so I could always find my wool, and now I can't even find the shade that I'm looking for, which is just typical, isn't it? So I have this, which is very similar to one of the colours, and I have this, which is a similar tone to one of the colours, but I think this is going to be too bright for the gingham effect. So I have another ball of blue downstairs that I think might be better, that's attached to another project. So I'm going to go and see if I can try that. But I'm going to take this one with me because that might work. But this one I think is going to be too bright. It's showing up really, like they look really similar on camera, but they're quite different in real life. I've been rubbish at updating this week. The reason that I wanted to swap out one of the colours is because these are the suggested colours for the blue gingham. Now, if I show you a pink one, you can see that we've got a light pink and a dark pink and they're the same tone. Whereas these two are not the same tone at all. This is very green compared to this one, and I don't think it's necessarily that much lighter either. I think it's just a different colour. So I did end up swapping out this one and putting in a navy. The one that I just showed you I thought would go with this one, and we could have had like a seafoam like blue green square, but it was too similar to it for it to work. So I went with this, and this is what it's turned out like, and I'm so happy that I did it. I just think this looks more like gingham. I think this looks more like the other ones and kind of like how it was intended. I assume that the reason she suggested this colour is purely because then they wouldn't have to put an extra ball of blue in. But my thing is, if she knew we were going to be doing the gingham, why wouldn't you just have a pale blue? Because this has been used in week 1 in the granny square one, the granny stitch panel, and it's also used for one row on the ripples one, and I feel like it could have just been a pale blue. It's a beautiful colour. It's my favourite colour of the whole pack. This is Lagoon Blue. It's my favourite colour of the whole blanket, but it could have very easily been a pale blue, similar to this but blue, and then that would have worked. But I digress. I swapped it out for a navy. This is what it looks like. And I did also go ahead and do a yellow one, and this is how that's turned out. This is, again, it's not quite as ginghamy, that's not a word, as the pink and the green. Again, I think that's because of the tone of the colours. This was on me, I decided to do this, and I do think it's going to look really cool with 4 colours instead of just 3. Do you see the vision? So where I'm at, I've done 3 blue, so the blue is all done. I've done 2 pink and I have another pink on my hook at the minute, and then I just have 2 green and 2 yellow to do. That being said, it is Tuesday. It's 12 o'clock on Tuesday, midday Tuesday, and I still have 4 more squares to do. These are taking me about 55 minutes per square, so I'm not sure if I'm going to get it done. And I think that this is actually going to be the week where I don't finish on time. But my saving grace is that next week should just be the like edge of the blanket and the pom-poms. So I'm hoping that, because that's just going to be like one continuous, that's going to be so long. I've just realised it's not just the 170 along the bottom, it's the length of the blanket that's going to take so long. But I'm hoping, because it's the last week and because it's just the edge, it'll be okay if I take a couple of extra days to finish my squares and put the fruits on. I'm not sure I want to put the fruits on, you know. I know that's the whole idea, is it's like a picnic blanket and there's all these different kinds of fruits throughout the blanket. But I love these squares, and I feel like if I stuck a lemon on this, it's just going to cover up the whole thing. I don't know. We'll get it all put together. We'll cross that bridge when we come to it. I just need to get 4 more squares done and then the week's done, but I really don't think I'm going to get that done today. Okay, this is the 3rd time I've tried to film this, and every time I've not been in frame, so I'm hoping to God that I am. If I'm not, you're going to get a voiceover. So I've got it all laid out, and obviously the squares aren't quite meeting the length of the panels, which is fine. I think I just need to block them. They literally, it's about 3 or 4 inches, so each square only needs just over ½ an inch more. So I think before I do anything else, I'm going to block the squares, because I could not sew this together right now with the way that it is. I've also just kind of haphazardly thrown the fruit on. This isn't how it's going to go. I don't necessarily want a lemon on the yellow one if I can help it. I'm going to block the squares and then I'm going to sew it together. I'm nervous. I'm excited. This is obviously the first time I've actually seen it all together, so I am excited, but it's also a bit nerve-wracking. We've been doing this for a long time, and I feel like this big project is like finally coming to fruition, and it's just a bit like, it's a little bit overwhelming. It's just a blanket, Louise, like, come on. But this has been like 5 or 6 weeks of my life just doing this, and seeing it all together is really exciting, but also like a little bit nerve-wracking. And I'm not looking forward to doing the edging along the long edges, because Lord only knows how many stitches that is. I'm not looking forward to that, but I'm going to do it because I am seeing this through. So yeah, that's my plan. I'm going to block the squares and then go from there. Okay, week 5's done. I'm just about to get the pattern for week 6. I know what it's going to be. It's going to be the edging, it's going to be the pom-poms, but we still have to do this bit. Come on, it's tradition by now. Also, I don't know exactly how we're doing the edging and the pom-poms. It's so freaking warm in here. My hair was straight all of like 20 minutes ago, but it's so warm. Beautiful. Okay, let's see. Week 6. We're doing the edging. Okay, so we're going to be using the ice pink, and we're going to, put the stitch count on. Turn the wigs around, Mary. We're going to just be single crocheting along the whole edge to start with. Don't say roughly. No, I'm mad. Don't say roughly. She says, roughly, I have added 2 single crochet into each of the side of a double crochet and 1 single crochet into each single crochet to the next corner. Make a note of this stitch count, as it will need to be achieved on the other side. Mary, just tell us what the stitch count should be. This is pissing me off now. Just tell us what the stitch count should be. Don't say roughly, don't say make a note of it. Tell us what it should be. If you are making a pattern this big, you cannot expect the people doing it to count the stitches. That's ridiculous. That's pissed me off. Okay, so we're single crocheting the whole way around. Then we're going to pink. Don't know if I'm going to have enough of that pink left. Okay, and then we're eyeletting. This all feels really icky, for lack of a better word. I'm not sure about this, you know. I'm not sure. Sure, I sounded really posh. I'm not sure, actually. I'm not sure about this. Why? I don't know about this. It feels really unnecessary. I don't know. Tell you what, I'm going to watch the video. I'm going to see what it looks like and how she does it. And then I'll come back and tell you what I'm actually thinking, because at the minute, I'm pissed off. which is so annoying because weeks 1 to 3, all I was pissed off. And then weeks 4 and 5, I've been so happy. And then what, week 6 is just going to come around and piss me off again. That's not fair. Okay, I'm going to watch the video and then I'm going to come back. I think it's ugly. I think it's ugly and I think it's going to piss me off. I just watched her do it. I was never planning on doing the pom-poms because they're just going to get caught on things. I know for a fact I'm not going to have enough of the yarn left over. I already ran out of white and had to buy a spare ball of white. I'm not going to have enough yarn to do all the pom-poms. I don't want to start doing pom-poms on one side and then run out of yarn and not be able to copy it on the other side. I'm not going to be doing pom-poms. Okay, spoiler alert, I won't be doing the pom-poms. I think the scallop is cute. The end. I can see what she was going for with the zigzag stitch, as she calls it, on like a zigzaggy thing on the edge. It kind of looks like the ruffles that we have in the main body of the blanket. I can see what she was going for. It's such a minor detail on such a huge blanket. It's just going to get lost. You can barely tell on her tiny little swatch what it is. I think I'm going to have to go a little bit AWOL here and go a little bit against the grain and do something different, because I think it's just so much work for very little payoff. The raspberries and the strawberries, we know I wasn't happy about that. That was a lot of work, but you got good payoff from that work. This will be hours of work for very little payoff, and I just don't think I have enough yarn left to do it as well. So what I think I'm going to do is something different. I think I'm going to have to do something different. I think I'm going to have to. I think I might get it sewn together and see how we're getting on. Start again. We're going to sew it all together. I'm going to block my squares. We're going to sew it all together. And then we're going to reassess, see how much yarn I have left and reassess, because at the minute I do not see myself doing this. Maybe in the next clip I'll be in a better mood and I've changed my mind and I've decided I'm going to do it. I'm going to see it through and I'm going to do it how the pattern wants me to do it, but at the minute I don't see that happening. Okay, so here's the crack. I've got a blanket. It is all sewn together. The whole thing is one thing now, and I did block the squares and it has made it a bit better. This bit is still just a little bit wavy, but I think when I put the edging on it, it'll be okay. It has been a week. I've basically spent the whole week sewing it and it didn't take me that long, maybe an hour and a half to do all the sewing together. I'm going to do the edging. I'm thinking I might do, because I didn't like the edging on the pattern, I'm thinking I might do white. I have a lot of this green because I already had some in my stash, so I think I might do a green border because I know that I definitely have enough of that colour, whereas all the other colours I'm not sure I have enough of. So I wouldn't want to start it and then not have enough colours and have to frog it or whatever. So that's the update. I have a blanket, it's just not finished, and all the ends, hopefully most of them are done with the magic knot, so I can just snip them off. Any that aren't, I'll be able to crochet over, and then it's just like the odd one on the squares, like on the back, that needs sewn in. I'm very nearly done. I'm losing momentum with it. I think I just need to bite the bullet and do it, and I just need to get on with it. So that's where we're at. I'm really happy with it so far. I really am. Now that it's all together and all in one piece, I'm so happy with it, and it's really big. Yeah, I do really like it. I don't know when I'm going to use it because it's the middle of summer and it sure as shit isn't going on the grass, because I spent way too long making this to just put it on the grass. I know it's supposed to be a picnic blanket, but mine is not going to be a picnic blanket. So I actually ended up taking this blanket to my crochet club at the coffee shop, and I finished the border while I was there because I was just putting it off. So I took it with me, I bit the bullet and I took it and I finished it. Okay, it has been a while. I definitely didn't do the edging in week 6 in a week, and I didn't even do it how the pattern said. I did it how I wanted to do it because I think I might have said in the previous clip I just wasn't really vibing with like the pattern. I was at that point, I was just kind of over it and I wanted it to be finished. So what I ended up doing was a round of white in just single crochet, and then half double crochet yellow, and then half double crochet pink, and I just did that around the whole thing just to finish it off. And honestly, I'm happy with, I don't think it needs all the pom-poms and all the frills and everything. I think it just looks cute like this. It's finished, it's neat, and it's the right shape. That's what I wanted. Everyone who has put the pom-poms on, they do look really cool, but I just know that it's just not me. And one other thing, I haven't put the fruit on. I feel like I knew this about myself, and I feel like I said in my last video, I knew that I wouldn't want to put the fruit on. I know for a fact that I am not going to want to sew those oranges on. I'm not going to want to. I'm going to make them and I'm going to make the squares, and I am not going to want to attach the orange to the square, and I haven't wanted to put the fruit on. I still have them and I might put them on at a later date, but at this point I like the gingham squares as they are, and I just think that it doesn't necessarily need it. I know that it's kind of like missing most of the fruit vibe, and like the theme for the blanket was fruit, because obviously we've got the watermelon, we've got the strawberries, and then at the top we've got the cherries and the raspberries, and we're just missing the fruit in the middle. But I just feel like it doesn't need it. I don't think mine needs it. Mine's just different to everyone else's, and that's okay. This has been a labour of love, and I have really enjoyed doing it. I really enjoyed documenting it for TikTok and YouTube. I really have enjoyed making this blanket, but I'm not gonna lie, I'm glad it's done. Here's a few stats for you now that the blanket is finished. Overall, the blanket took me 51 hours. 51 hours, including crocheting and sewing. The whole thing, it took me 51 hours. I crocheted those hours over a total of 32 days across about 7 weeks. You don't need to hear my thoughts again. I think you've heard plenty of my thoughts. I have really enjoyed doing it. It's been ups and downs. I've got mad at it. I've been happy at it. Now that it's finished, I have a lot of other projects that I want to move on to. So please do stick around and subscribe so that you can keep up with me and whatever I move on to next. And now I'm going to throw it back to past Louise so she can finish it out. I'm ready to move on to other things. I've had a long list of things that I wanted to make, and I've put them all to the side so that I could do this blanket in the 6, 7, 8 weeks that I've made it in, and I'm just excited to move on and do other projects that I'm passionate about. SIRDAR did just release their Halloween crochet along, which when they said they were doing a Halloween one, I was like, oh, that's a bit of me, like I might do that. And then I've seen it and it's kind of ugly, and I'm still reeling from doing this one. I don't think that in like 2-3 weeks time I'm going to want to do another one, like jump straight into another one. I'm still going to keep my eye out for the Christmas one, but the Halloween one, I think I'm just going to leave it for now, and I'm just going to, like I said, go and do some projects that I've been wanting to do. So that is it for this video. Thank you so much for following along. Thank you so much for coming along on this journey with me of my first ever crochet along. I've really, like I say, I've really enjoyed doing it, and I've really enjoyed documenting the process. It's been great, like getting to know other people who are doing it and like keeping up with them on social media as well and how they were doing with it. If you don't know, I am trying to reach 500 subscribers by the end of the year, so if you did enjoy this video, please consider following along for the rest of the year so that I can reach my goal of 500 subscribers. I think that's the weirdest way I've ever said that in any of my videos, but I am just trying to reach that goal of 500 subscribers, so if you'd like to help me out, then please consider subscribing. And with all that being said, thank you so much for being here, and I'll see you in the next one.